Strength trials file 16. 2 more weeks till the meet. Feeling a little rundown now. I think I got a little sickness going on, but going back to the beginning of the week, everything started out great. I opened up the week with speed bench like usual. I did a different tempo. I worked almost like half reps. I saw Matt Wenning do this. If you were trying to build some power out of the bottom, that is the weak point of my bench. My triceps are pretty strong, but my chest is where I'm weak, off the chest. So he mentioned maybe to stay in that plane, just don't lock out. So I think I did 3 sets of 10 with just a regular mini. Then I added a micro mini for the last set, and they were neat. I think I'm going to keep trying them out, and hopefully I'll see some carryover with them. I definitely know it taught me how to maintain my tightness. You had to hold your breath for 5 reps at a clip, so it was definitely good. I moved into some shoulder press here. I'm really excited to get back into shoulder pressing after the meet. I feel like I've gotten away from it. And it's always helped my regular bench press, so hopefully I can get back into it. Here's Kyle, 255 for 7. This was his press day, but this is his secondary movement. He's been using a tighter grip. I think his pointer finger's right where the grip starts. Steve actually had another good bench day. He worked pin presses here. Sammy worked pin presses last week, and Steve's doing the same. Steve used a little bit of a tighter grip. You're putting a lot of pressure on those elbows. The elbows do a lot of the moving in bench press. A lot of people get hung up and think that it's just a pec movement, but in reality it is an arm and back movement. Yeah, you need your chest to get it moving, but a majority of the benchers have huge triceps, and that's what finishes the weight. And you can see that here with Sam. Sam works some really long pauses here with 315 for 5. And he's just very explosive off the bottom and through the lockout. If you see that bar wants to almost keep traveling, his triceps are so strong. But he's got a great bench. He's been really using some unique principles here the last couple of weeks. He did some pin presses, he did some pause reps, he's done some high rep work. So I'm thinking it's going to work out for him pretty well. Guys should take a look at Duke here, catching him by surprise. 415 on a pin sumo, whatever. I don't know what you call it. It's pin 1 in my rack. I worked up to 405 there, then 455 for 1. Did that raw, and it felt really good. This was probably my last true max effort session. I'd say that was about an 8 or a 9 out of a 10. I followed it up with a lot of GHRs. I've been doing that for about 3 weeks now. I do about 4 to 5 sets of 15 twice a week. So pretty much 8 sets of 15 to 20 reps total in the week, and whenever my hamstrings are really, up to par, the rest of my deadlift takes off. So hopefully I'm doing the right things that are going to be needed to PR on the meet. Anything over 635 pounds would be a PR, and I'm pretty anxious to see how it feels. Duke was so scared he didn't leave my side the rest of the day, so he's sitting there looking pretty nostalgic, but. We moved on. Kyle's coming up. Kyle has a 415 times his 3+ week. He ends up getting it for 7. He's back doing Wendler. I've mentioned that before. He does a great job here keeping that tight form. His lower back is locked in. We mentioned it before. Kyle trained all sumo for a meet last year. He trained all sumo and then went to the meet, pulled his opener sumo. Didn't feel good. I think he pulled 580. And then he said, screw it, I'm going to conventional, and he ended up PRing. He pulled like 610 or 605 or something like that, 615 maybe. But what that tells you is that you can train sumo and your conventional pull will get stronger. So that's the principles that he's going to go by there. Here's my max effort bench. I was feeling a little run down, so I just ended up doing 1 big pause. I did 3 sets of 1 at 315 there, but it was good. I maintained my tightness, drove up to the top of the lift. That's the first time I've really benched with straight weight in a while. Last week, that heavy shirted bench session with all that band tension kind of wore me out a little bit. So I was happy to go in there, hit some solid reps, and move on to accessory work. Here's just a rolling dumbbell rollbacks on an incline. Those are 30-pounders. I kind of just burn them out. I call for 3 sets of 20, 4 sets of 20, but I really just don't. I don't start counting until it burns, so you want to definitely make sure you're getting a ton of volume into your triceps so that bench press can go up a little bit. Here's Kyle on 230. It's in 230 for around 9 here on the incline. if you guys don't have access or can't bench press or shoulder press, I'm sorry, inside your house, or if your ceiling's too low, an incline bench is just as good. You're going to hit your front delt, you're going to hit your pec, and you're going to hit your triceps. I really love incline benching. I've gotten away from it. That's something else that I want to get back into, some more incline work and shoulder presses, but it's a nice way to change it up too, and then you use a lower weight that won't beat you up as much. Here's Steve on a pin pull, 500 for one. He ended up ripping a callus. That's why he didn't go up any higher. We wanted him to go up to around 550 there with that high pin pull, but it's nice to see him get away from, just the boring stuff that he's been doing forever. So I'm happy to see him hit that, load a little bit of weight on the bar, and get after it. Here's Kyle's. This is his threes week again with 415. He ends up hitting this for 5 on the safety squat bar. Can't say enough about the safety squat bar. I think it's a great tool. Any of you who are just lifting in general, like Kyle doesn't have any plans on competing anytime soon, but it's much more comfortable on his shoulders, on his back, and it gets more benefit. So why wouldn't you use something like a safety squat bar? I know right now Elite Fitness has a very large equipment sale going on, so if any of you are interested, you might want to get on their site, elitefts.com. Check out what they have, because that bar, I think normally it's around $400, and with the sale it might be around like $340 or so. Here's our max effort day with Steve. Steve came and put on the suit, which was awesome. We had the same tension as we had last week, which is around 275 pounds. He worked there with 285 for a single, and then we put 325 on. I was happy when he let his air out here. You're going to see kind of hit the sticking point right there, but he was able to drive up through. I mean, for the first, Steve hasn't been in gear in a very long time, but it was nice to see him, take on that challenge and be successful with it. I took 60% of 450. 450 is what I hit last week for week 1 of Circuit Max. Took 60% of that. I hit 3 triples. So that was around 275-ish. So I just slapped that on with the squat bar. It's going to be 285. So took 285 for 3 sets of 2. And then I ended up working up to 375 for a single with the straps up. I haven't felt any weight free squatting, so I wanted to be able to do that. The 285 felt good, and the 375 felt great too. Hope everybody has a nice week. I do have a Donnie Thompson's bow tie on. It alleviated a lot of stress on my upper back, so if you're looking for a product for Christmas too, you might want to check that out. So I hope everybody has a safe week. Stay safe and stay strong.